Hello there, Rowdy. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm all right.
Everyone, somewhere in the world, welcome to Lemon's Zoom Pride interview. It is a part of the project I am conducting for Lucid Lemons, and it's going to be awesome. Yeah, this is where you say yeah.
Yes.
Hey, okay. So you got to tell us what is your preferred name for us to call you. Do you want us to call you by your government name, or what do you want us to call you?
Hmm. Well, we can still go with Rowdy. we
Nothing wrong with
still
that.
go with Rowdy.
Rowdy is.
You sure? You sure? Do you really need my government name? Like,
Let's not put
is
your
there
government
any
name there because if
extra?
it's not for you, you know that I'm
Eh,
not even there. Like me, that's you. Do I know you? Nah. Okay, so how do you identify and
good.
what are your
So,
preferred pronouns?
Rowdy, cool. So, I identify as queer. Pronouns he, him. think I just queer just works best for me because it says a lot more about me than so who are you sleeping with? Is it a boy or a girl? Like it says a whole lot about my life than just that. And that's just what works for me.
Uh, you know, I completely agree because like that's how I identify too. And my pronouns are she, her, and they, them because I am a non-binary queer person. So queer people in the house.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you. How old are you?
I'm going on 27. Well, let's say 27.
Is that like your official age? I mean, your football age, or
Ah, give me a I don't play football, so football age, no, we are not even going there at all. I'm just one of those very almost late born people. Almost like
okay?
very close.
Well, I used to tell people my age before, but then people were like, "It's a lie." No, no. And so at some point, I started carrying my birth certificate around on my phone because of people were like, "It can't be this age. It can't be 20." And then I'm like,
Why?
"This is my
Did they
birth
think you're
certificate.
younger?
Just look at it." So I
They think you're actually older than.
yeah, they always think I'm older. So now I am finally 20. I'm going to be 21 in September. So now we know
Wait,
our
what?
ages. You see, this is why I don't say my age. This is why I don't say my age. You see,
I have questions, but
yeah,
okay, maybe
it
this
will
is
be
not that
off
moment.
camera. Off camera.
This
Don't.
is not that
Let's not
moment. So,
ask certain questions on the public space. So my next question for you is
oh
because
my god.
Rowdy is not a name that I can't even say I've heard it before because I can't even form and be like, oh, Rowdy definitely heard that name before. But I want to know like what it means to you and like what inspired it.
So it's a very interesting story to Rowdy. Uh, yeah, calm down now, easy. So, so there was period in my childhood which I would prefer to just refer to as the dark ages. I think this was just yes, it was that crazy. But I think what helped me through the early stage of it was video games. Luckily for me, there were video games, so it was good enough distraction. And this one time, my sister exchanged one of our CDs for Sonic Adventure 2.
Oh, that was a good
I
one.
think yeah. So yeah, we had a GameCube, and I think she knew someone that had a GameCube as well and had that CD. So Sonic Adventure 2 became like my newfound guilty pleasure. I still feel bad I never got to finish that game, but I think there were two um what I call them jewels that were like so talked about in the game. There were the Master Emerald and the Chaos Emerald. So Emerald just stuck in my head. I think things just like over time, it just like evolved. I think I was Esmeralda at some point. Then I just like used the four letters afterwards and I just went with Rowdy. So we just used the last four letters and went to Rowdy. I think, and then Young came in
That's pretty
because I
creative.
didn't want to go with I didn't want to go with Leo Rowdy because I felt like Leo was so overrated. And then it felt like it would be a very good
There was like a
fit.
Leo everywhere.
There was a Leo everywhere at the time. I think what also helped too was that I was basically like the youngest all round in basically every class I'd ever been in. So that's how young came in.
Serious?
Yeah.
Like
I was this
it
close
was
to a
either like
large boy.
Rowdy Young or like Baby Rowdy.
Yeah, and I couldn't take Baby Rowdy. It just didn't work well in my system. Mm-mm.
No, that's a pretty interesting name. You know, most people call me Yin, and the story for Yin is it's not as interesting as that. I was just talking to an
Ah.
old friend, like this was like in 2017, and this guy was high, and we were on the phone, and we are just talking, and he's like, "Oh Yin Consola, oh Yin Consola, oh Yin Con, oh Yin."
And then you
Yin, yin,
didn't just
yin,
talk a bit.
lady, yin. And then he was like, shit, I like that shit. And I'm like, oh, look at that. I like it too. And I just went with it. And so
So you basically got baptized.
I, that's it. That was literally what happened. Like, this guy said, I will name you a new name. And I said, hallelujah, amen. I want
Good
to,
one.
I have a confession, you see. The first time I met you, I never knew you made music.
Oh, really? I think that's because I never really like, huh?
I don't think we ever
I
got to
don't.
talk about music.
Yeah, we never got to. And maybe because I think for the longest time I've been no big deal with my music. So I think it was just one of those things that would only come up when there was need for it to come up. Else I would never just like bring up to anybody that I made music.
Well,
And
I
so
completely
for
get
the
that.
yeah.
And that would make me ask you the
So
question why and how you started making music. Because clearly you made it seem you've just it comes out to me like it's not a really professional thing. That was not it's not like for you want to make music for money kind of thing. It doesn't seem like that's it for you. So
yeah.
why did you start making music?
I mean it did feel like that, but a little. I think I started worrying less about money over time. Okay, so maybe quick background story. So we'll start with the whole cliche one. We started in church.
Now,
Um,
see, I'm not going to knock that because I find that the best musicians are the people that started from church. Yeah, like there's just something about your sound. It just has that unique, I don't know, Holy Spirit touch or something.
so started in church. I think my earliest experience with music I found was, I had a nanny when I was much younger that would like teach us like church songs to sing. I think I did sing a few of them in church at the time. Then
Were you in the choir?
yeah, I eventually joined the choir. Well, not immediately, but yeah, I eventually joined the choir. I think I got a bit older before that happened. But let's just say, yeah, that was my experience with music. And then there was a keyboard. And then the Dark Ages came, and video games just like took over. I think I just shut down at that point. So from a moment where I had no video games available for an output, I think my emotions just like went all over the place, and there was no way I could easily like just talk to people or have an output or an outlet of some sorts until I think later in boarding school I came across a friend that just like rekindled all of that again.
Seems
So
like a lot of musicians like had like this magical time in like hostel.
well, I mean, by the time it's not like secondary school or hostel was like my best experience
Yeah.
because there was a lot of drama. Like I said, I was
But
dealing with a whole
I
lot.
don't think anybody had good time in secondary school.
Okay, thanks. That's a bit comforting. So I think it was like, so things were actually crazy too in secondary school until I meet a friend that just like sparked that whole music thing back. I think from there it just like helped a little, even though I couldn't really like write my own songs until later in life. But
But
the
it's always
music just
it's a
grew
good place
there.
to start. Like, yeah. You hope you feel right
Yeah.
immediately. It's a good place.
So the music just like grew from there. And then later on, I think I was like, this was around 2009, 2010. I got into a school that I didn't finish in, by the way. And I think at the time I was saying, oh, well, I'm looking forward to, I don't know, being professional in music. I didn't know when I even said it. A friend of mine was like, no, is there really plan for that? I need to try something else. I think after that, it just died. But then someone introduced me to FL Studio, and I started working on producing beats myself. And
Hey, the
things just
magic of
like,
FL.
you know it. So I think things just grew from there. But it took me a long while before I could, I don't know, try and be vulnerable in my music, because for the most part I was making beats or class in school back then. But yeah, that's basically the
Well,
story.
I'm glad that
of the motivation.
I'm glad that after everything you still came back to music, because your project, songs from my bedroom, it's
Hmm.
I really enjoyed it. It's pretty short, but it's like also like concise, and like it does its work. What inspired that project?
So well, first off, songs from my bedroom was basically that. Songs from my bedroom. They were made in my bedroom. Um but then I think you're like, what sparked this was the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. Things were getting a lot crazy. I was already beginning to like adjust to a whole new set of plans, and then all of a sudden lockdown. So I work as a graphic designer by the side, so a lot of gigs were off as a result.
Rana
Things weren't
just
just
took up
like,
everybody's life.
yes, it just like shut everything down. And at a point I felt like, well, I was working on music with some other people at the time, but then I felt like I wanted to like work on a project, but things weren't like working out the way I hoped it would. I think that only added to the stress I was already dealing with, so I suffered a couple of breakdowns. Was really, really intense, because like a lot of things are not unresolved from like how many weeks ago, just like piled up and just
It's
got
been hella
really
traumatic,
crazy.
really. It's like back to back
Oh,
PTSD, like
oh, oh my God, it was super duper crazy. In fact, since I don't even know how I just like got over it. I think thankfully though, occasionally there were friends that I could reach out to when I could, and they just like helped ease the pain.
that's the beauty
Then
of
I think,
community. Friendship is so
yeah.
important.
Then this one time I don't know, like I was just sitting down, no data, no access to the internet, no cash, nothing. And I was just like staring up at my ceiling. At a point, music could not even distract me anymore. I was sober as hell, so everything felt very real in my face. And I just felt like, okay, maybe I should just shut things down. Just calm down, bask in the silence a little bit, and just see how things go. And a point, the thought just dropped in my head that, why am I really trying to make things so perfect when, the basic idea of me making music in the first place is that I'm having fun doing it. So even if things don't really come out the way you want it to, so why not? The main thing is that you're having fun. So I had worked on several like demos, like over this 2-month period, although one of them was way before that. Then another one, Mondays for John. It was the day I made an announcement on my IG that okay, I'm working on a project I'm going to put in out soon. And it was that same day I kind of recorded Mondays for John.
You spoke it into existence.
It just worked. Like shortly after
I
the
love
announcement.
it.
So it was a lot of all that's just like bird songs from my bedroom. I think I just remember that the motivation was to I don't know, be in the moment and enjoy what I was doing. When I started feeling forced, it wasn't just working out. So things just had to.
I like that you've explained it, because for me, when I listened to the project and I saw the name "Song for My Bedroom," I thought that in all its simplicity of the name "Song for My Bedroom," it was also a project that you could see that it was saying that this is me, this is like rawness, like this is personal space, this is not like putting up false
Yeah.
appearances and all. It's like just basic, like this is just me in my bed making this, just giving you the rawness, and I loved it. But then I listened to it, yeah, and it got me thinking, what's your favorite genre of music?
Thanks. So I don't particularly have a favorite genre. I think I used to. Before, if you had asked me this when I was like, I don't know, in my early teens, I would say rock was like my favorite genre. But I think over time, my taste buds just got. I just had to like just open up to a lot of new experiences. So now it's if it sounds good, I like it. We are good. Sorry, it call came me. Sorry, it call came in.
All right, so good.
So so yeah, I think for me it's just being open to new stuff. So right now I could, as long as it sounds good, I'm down. I mean,
You
there's
know,
this new classical album that I've been listening to like every now and then.
okay.
It's I love things from forgotten what the name was, because someone introduced them to me. If
Okay,
I
if you
remember it,
remember, you can send me a link. You know, I love to listen to stuff. Um,
sure, surely.
Speaking about music, you see, you,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell the people what you did to me and my playlist creator. So everybody,
No!
everybody, no, it's okay. I won't. It's not Raldie's fault, though. It's just the people that distribute. But essentially, we had created this whole ass playlist, which you should check out. It's called We On That Gay Shit. It's Lucid Lemons on Apple Music and Spotify.
Oh, I listened to it already.
Yeah, it was a
I
good thing.
did. I did.
We took our time, you know, to arrange those songs perfectly. And you know, I was going to interview Rowdy, and I'm like, there's no way I want to have a playlist and Rowdy's not on it, because Rowdy had said to me that his music was on SoundCloud at Audio Map only, and had checked Apple Music and it wasn't there. So I had my
Yeah.
creator make a playlist on SoundCloud, which was extremely hard because most of the songs on the playlist couldn't be found on SoundCloud or Audio
On
Map.
SoundCloud.
And you know, she had started making the playlist, and just when she was almost done making the SoundCloud playlist, Rowdy messages me a link to his music on Apple Music and Spotify, and I'm like, oh my god! And I'm just like, I just text her and I'm like, oh my god, I am so sorry. He literally just said this, and you know, she is so upset and she wants to cuss me out, and I'm like, it's not me. Check the timestamp. You know, like I checked Apple Music. I wouldn't do you dirty like this. And so essentially, we had to
Oh
like
my
just
god.
trash the entire SoundCloud playlist and look, you know, I had to start thinking, okay, where can I fit in this song? Because the playlist was so carefully arranged and the transitions were so beautiful. And then I just figured, you know what? If I put Rowdy between Games by Logan February and Can't Breathe by Solis, it would be a perfect fit. And that's how we just put him in,
Oh.
sent it out, and the playlist went up. But whew, that
Distribution was last minute, though.
and you know, that's like
I'm sorry.
I want to fight you and I want to ask you, why can't we find your stuff on bigger platforms like Apple Music and Spotify? How come we can only find it on Audio Map and SoundCloud? Are you gonna be releasing your new music on there only, or are you gonna move to like these places that are easily more accessible?
Yeah, so Apple Music, so putting them on bigger platforms, I think I actually just started with songs from my bedroom. And very honest, like I wasn't sure about how I was going to go about it afterwards, because at the time I was just like, I usually just put out stuff on my SoundCloud, which is what I always do. It's like my go-to at the time. And it's even funny that you mentioned this, because I think at the time I put Song from My Bedroom on SoundCloud, because it went there like some days before it got to Apple Music and the other platforms. I shared with a few people, and then they were like, so how can I get here music on major platforms? And I'm like, wow, this is a very serious matter. This looks like it's a sign from God. I mean, I then talked to my sister, and she told me the same thing. I think, thankfully enough, there was just a last minute miracle that helped me push my music distributors. I think it was going to come immediately, but then I had to wait for like 10 days. So like 10 days landing on Monday when I sent the link to you was like
It was literally
lucky
like 5 minutes
because
before the link went up.
are you serious?
Yeah, that's why I was laughing because it was so crazy. Like it, that was a stressful period, you know.
Oh my
But
god, to
I
think
would
that
advise that
almost didn't happen.
what you say?
To think that almost didn't happen. But what a good thing it did though.
You know, tip advice for you and like any other creative who is just making music that is putting it out there is I would advise that you put your music out on platforms like YouTube rather than SoundCloud. So I worked in a radio station for about a year, and I found that
Yeah.
they weren't playing people's music from SoundCloud because SoundCloud, the quality of your songs on SoundCloud isn't as great as on if I played it from YouTube or Apple Music or Spotify. And so
Oh, really?
a radio station would not play your music from SoundCloud. I remember there was a song that had just come out, and I was literally begging my boss that please he needed to hear it, and it was just by the grace of God that he played it from SoundCloud, and he was like, he's never gonna play anything else from SoundCloud. That it has to be
Yikes.
on YouTube, or you send the song directly to the email of the radio presenter.
Of the person. Oh,
Because SoundCloud just does
wow.
you dirty, and I think it's
Huh.
you can get like I don't know. You can get money from SoundCloud, yeah, but like most people tend to have Apple Music and Spotify, and
Yeah,
I think
I learned that the hard way. I mean, I talked with a few people, and they kind of just eventually they have to just admit to me that well, SoundCloud is like a lot of process to get to and listen. Apple Music is a lot more accessible. I think that's just what helps
and I
me
think
with
I think the reason
with
why
other
we
platforms.
really worked with SoundCloud was when a lot of younger younger artists right now that are on Apple Music and Spotify. The reason why we're on there was for one, Apple Music was at a point where it wasn't accessible to Android phones, and Spotify wasn't in Nigeria. And
True,
these people, we all
also
had
true.
SoundCloud, and your boys were going there. But now that we have access to like these better
Other
platforms, like
platforms is
moving
like
to SoundCloud, like for me, honestly, I
nobody
have
wants
the
to
app
get there
because I'm always looking for new music. But like it hurts me. So if I find someone there, I'm trying to go check for them on Apple Music so I can listen
on
to
Apple
it.
Music. And I
So
did
if
that
you
with
can,
with an artist as well. So I kind of just that's even true. I found some music on SoundCloud this one time, and then I was like, "Can I find music on Apple Music?" Oh,
exactly.
great, a lot more convenient. So yeah, that actually checks out. That makes a lot of sense. Too.
Right.
Oh
But you know
well,
what? Let's put a little
lesson learned.
pause on that music side because we are on some gay shit. Now, I want to talk about being queer. Okay. Are you ready for that?
Okay.
Because it's Pride Month. Okay, so I'm not one of those interviewers that will ask you, oh, when did you discover you were gay or how did you know you were gay? Because I mean, I will asking straight people how you know the straight. Anyway, leaving that aside, I want you to tell me a moment where you like realize that being straight would be so boring. Like it would just be so bland. I like banana. Come on, I know you have a moment. Tell me.
Oh my god. I think like as far as like attractions are concerned, one of those things that I just knew and just moved on from way quickly before I even realized that there were like negative connotations attached to them, you know. So yeah, like really never really like thought
It
about it.
has to be.
Plus,
I want to know. I know there's a moment where you feel like being straight would be so boring. Come on, there has to be a moment maybe when you were out with your friends and you just realized that like if I were just like a cis man right now, my life would be so bland and boring. Come on, come on. I know. Don't lie
that
to
one is
us.
hard though. That one is hard though. That one's very tough because I can't really pin like a particular moment. I just know that well there were after there were moments when I felt like strong emotions for people. There were moments when I really felt free and happy. But I don't think there's one defining moment. I think it was like it started with me just getting aware of the fact that I was way different. And I think it got worse when I was fully exposed to people that weren't. So there was constantly that disconnect. I wasn't sure whether I should do this or not. But over time I was like, you know what, just get over yourself and move on from this and focus on other things. This will sort itself out, however it turns out. So yeah, no real defining moment.
Oh, good. It's fine. It's fine. Well, for me personally,
None.
a moment where I would say that I would have thought being straight would be so boring is when I I see like some straight women and they're like, oh God, my boyfriend, blah 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 blah. Like cooking for him, like he wants me to cook like fresh meals and like all of this. And like
The struggle.
yeah, like and they're like, oh, like my boyfriend is like just like completely like into football, and like my boyfriend like it's just like some very stereotypically straight things, and
Yeah.
I'm just
So
like,
two people from two very different worlds
and
just
they're like
coming
thinking
under
about
one
the
roof
sex,
and
and they're
just.
like, oh, like he doesn't last, and I'm like, doesn't last? Boy, my sex be lasted hours. Can't relate.
I mean, do they
Sorry to
even have
your
these
mom.
conversations? Do they even have these conversations?
They do. These conversations do happen, you know. They do happen, and
Like maybe with the boyfriend, sort things out. I think a lot of times, like everything is just so
I'm like, well, talk
compartmentalized.
to him because I don't know how to help you.
I
You're
mean,
telling me, but like, I
exactly.
can't help you, bro. It's
I
like,
can't give
I'm
you
going to be
tips.
having mine, but like, I don't know about you. So,
I mean, come on. Like
thank
me
you
now,
so
for instance, someone is coming to tell me that I'm like, well, no matter what I tell you, it will make much difference because I'm not going to sleep with you. So
exactly. Like,
you need to
take
talk
it to
with who you
God or
need to
take it to
talk
the
with.
man, okay?
uh
I want
Channel your
to,
prayers accordingly.
I have a question
Yeah.
for you. I want to know the first time you fell in love.
Hmm. First one, first time really didn't feel like love. It
Like
felt
real
like a
love, or
situationship. Okay, like
not
real.
like infatuation.
Okay. So let's see. Huh. First time I really felt that was, I think, was with someone. Huh. Okay. So infatuation aside, right? We're talking real love here.
Real love, yeah.
Sure.
The realest love
Okay.
of all.
Okay. So the rest one will be this person I started seeing um, some years back.
Okay.
Still together now, by the way. I think at the time, I wasn't really sure where things were going until I was like, you know what? Let me just like break things down for you. So this is the kind of person I am. This is like all my bullshit, all my wahala, all my drama, my work in progress, like all of this. And didn't just make him budge. Just like moved over that quickly. I was like, yeah, okay, we all have issues. Good, moving forward next. And I think that was just, I think it was beautiful, or kind of just like consoling knowing that, you know, someone would look past a lot of your issues and be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, the love is still there. So we die here. So just condition your mind for that.
But did you die
Really.
there though? Like, are you guys still together? Are you single?
Still
Still together?
together.
So
Yeah.
that's like how many years?
Yeah. So a little over 3.
God, when? Am I not your child? Jesus. Because I don't pick tight this year. Is no, honestly, I need to know because I took Holy Communion, so it can't be that. It's not right? No, I speak in tongues. The Holy Spirit dwells in me. So God, why? Me too, I deserve love. What is this? 3 years. That's almost one presidential term. What's
Oh my god.
oh God.
Oh my god.
I'm about to shed real tears on this place. I don't understand it. Me too. God, oh, mad one. Ha! It's okay. I'm
Oh
jealous
god.
though. Let alone before they say I want to scatter. It's okay. It's all right.
I was ready. I was ready.
And I was also going to ask you how do you navigate the dating scene in your country, but clearly you don't. You don't. How would you know? 3 years. It's like oh,
Well, I mean, like, but I mean, they didn't even before prior to that relationship, though. I think there was just dating scene was just so, I don't know. It's like people weren't sure about what they wanted. Either that or
sorry, can you
you
confirm the
knew.
country you're in for us, for the people that don't know? Because
Oh,
we know where
oh
you.
yeah. Oh, hello. So dating in Nigeria has its has its drama.
A
And
lot of
it
drama,
just
and I can
it, it
testify to that.
it just does. And it doesn't even help, that there is the whole like provision bill that is just giving everybody the backbone to,
Yeah,
like
the
jump
SSAG.
whoever at the slightest opportunity, and for the most part, you might even be aware of what you are looking forward to getting out of a relationship and all that, or your version of relationship, what it is for you. And you're meeting like 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 20 other people that just had the picture of, let's just let's just hook up and let's just have sex. And you are
Then
just
we have a
living in
very
hopeless,
prevalent hookup culture in Nigeria.
and you are busy being a hopeless romantic by yourself, and eventually just think, okay, you know what? Maybe this whole romance thing is not for me. Let us join the bandwagon. How far? Jump on everybody as you go.
And
But
then that's how
you
you hear
know,
that everybody in Lagos has slept with everybody in Lagos. I don't know
hmm,
if you saw, but a couple of days ago, I
girl,
think maybe yesterday or 2 days ago, someone a queer man tweeted that if you have a partner in Lagos, then just know that you are sharing your partner with like other people. And I'm like, it's just crazy. It's crazy.
oh
I
my God,
think just polyamorous
Lagos,
is gonna be like that, you know.
yeah, but I think one of the major struggle there when it comes to dating is just like knowing what you want and meeting someone that has like a similar vision to yours. And yeah, that is, with a hookup culture like ours, that is it's just something that you just try need to be patient, patient with yourself, and just
So
be patient with yourself and just be, I don't know, open to whatever happens.
be prepared to filter people though. You just have to be ready for.
Yes, I
You
think
can't
end of the day,
expect
you
everyone to be
just
like good or something like that.
you get that kind of thing. So you just have to prepare yourself for that. That eventually
How do you
you.
navigate homophobia in Nigeria? Because I know as a Nigerian coming from Nigeria, it is violently homophobic. So how do you navigate homophobia?
So quick disclaimer. First off, I I currently live with my family.
That must be hard.
Thank you. And that just has its fair share of issues because, and like I said already, I was already dealing with a whole lot of other things besides my queerness. So it's like all of that to also had to go through my family as well. So before my queerness ever came into the picture, and I was very much aware of the state of mind of a lot of people, I think I was just like making peace with the fact that I might be alone, as far as family is concerned. But I think so far, I wasn't even sure of how I was going to navigate family, to be very honest. And like just recently, I'm just like walking through this baby steps, being patient with everybody. It's like a friend of mine, a new friend I just made. We're talking and we're talking about a similar thing. And there's something she said that just stuck with me, which was people only love you within their limit of consciousness.
Mm.
So I think coming to that understanding just like made things a whole lot easy for me, especially now that there's a pandemic. So we all basically have to face each
Exactly.
other like
On a
every
daily
morning
basis.
on a daily basis. So you can't really avoid fire, So eventually, question will have to be had. Things will have to be said. People have to understand. Try and understand. So I just had to learn to be patient with everybody and give them their space. So far, I've had like I've been able to have supportive people, that I could call family that I live with, and things don't necessarily feel weird, which I can just count as progress,
It is
in that
progress.
light,
It is progress.
because it could be worse,
It be way
you
worse.
know. I mean, they're also kind of like aware of my relationship, at least most of them are. So it's also really, really just we are going through it like bit by bit. That's all I can say. Baby
Like I said,
steps.
it's a journey, really. And eventually,
Yeah,
one
it
day,
is.
everybody will be fine with it, or they will learn to be fine with it,
I mean, but I think the important thing is like learning to be okay with it yourself. I think that just helps. It makes things a lot more easier because when I was way younger, I started feeling like, okay, what really is wrong with me? Because like I wasn't just fitting anywhere. You know, it's like, oh, there's difference in career choices, there's difference in like, understanding, the way you process emotions. There's just like a huge difference in a lot of things, all at the same time. So like, which is why I even said that, for me, queer is more than just sexuality. And it also means, for me, it means different, it means strange. And I'm like, you know what, I am strange. So that just like checks out,
It's completely
So
fine. It's
I
nothing wrong with
mean,
it.
and it's okay. So making peace with that just like helps me deal with every other thing that came in afterwards. Occasionally I lose sleep because I mean I'm still Nigerian, so you still get to encounter that one way or the other.
As
But
a general, as a person, Nigeria is already trying to kill you, and then like as a queer person, like it's still trying to kill you. So like really,
you get
no es-
so there's a lot.
it's
There's
everywhere.
really a
It's
lot.
just like man, let's just happy Democracy Day. By the way, it is
Ah.
Gender Day in Nigeria, so happy Democracy Day. I want to talk a little bit more about your music, and because I
Okay.
find that like queer musicians, especially in Nigeria, we've had to normalize using the wrong pronouns. So do you ever find yourself like reflexively using the wrong pronouns to talk about a lover in your music because of like the embedded homophobia in society?
Mhm. Hmm. Maybe a little. Or, well, like maybe if I'm having one-on-one interactions with people, then I always have to like go through a lot of filters, just to avoid the pronouns.
Exactly.
But
It's
I
like
think,
it's they, it's she, using all the wrong
mm,
pronouns.
no, I don't even try and use pronouns at all.
You just
I
dodge
always
the
just go
entire
like,
pronouns.
I just do the entire thing. So like, oh, I'm seeing someone, or, oh, my partner. I think just a couple of times, like maybe think I just slipped, But music-wise, it's a very different approach when it comes to music because for the most part, my music is like fueled by my interactions with people. Like different people, different relationships. So on different levels, and a lot of things that I end up talking about in my music are things that I notice that even straight people identify with. I mean, my cousin, like one of my cousins just reached out to me. I was like, oh, he listened to Archangel and that's like his favorite song of the
That
mixtape.
is my
And I was
favorite
like,
song. I told you,
yeah,
Arkansas,
you said
absolute
that.
class officer.
I think that was the one. That was the very song I was not really sure of
Really?
how.
Nah, I love that song.
Yeah, I loved it. I think for me, I was just a bit concerned about like reactions or how left things could turn really quickly. But at the same time, it was like, well, let's just put this. So I think that just kind of worked.
In the words of a wise Twitter user, take risks and succeed. You just have to take the risk.
Amen.
Whatever happens, happens. And as you know, it is Pride Month, and I mean that's why we're here. We're celebrating ourselves as queer individuals, as we are proud of ourselves and of the people we are, identities, and all of that. And I wanted to ask you that what do you think about like Pride as a whole, and like Pride matches, and like do you think it's necessary for the Nigerian queer community, to have a match?
So, hmm, okay. So, Pride March. So prime is a good idea. I love, but I think for us we still have a lot of grounds to cover. We have a lot of grounds to cover, but I think for one, when I'm talking about pride, it's like basically what it is. Being proud of who you are, and I I could say that for myself, but I can't say that for a lot of other poor Nigerians.
People that
When like
people
people
have to
that would
speak for
just
themselves.
yes, I know the people just have to speak for themselves. So it all comes down to that eventually. So as much I'm down for the march, where the possibility of that happening depends on queer community in general, the individuals. Like, so are you bold enough to really like step out and say something at very least? No matter where you place on the spectrum or whatever it is. So I think when we can cross that bridge, and if we do get to that point of crossing that bridge, then yeah, I think that would help the situation as it is.
Um, I think it's pride and matching in Nigeria is something that every poor person has to think about, because the thing that a lot of people talk about is how they don't want to be activists, or that their poorness doesn't make them activists. And I agree with that. But then the thing is, the way we live, the way we are, we've been politicized. Our politics
Yeah.
has been made political, and the thing is, our very breath is a step of activism. So you just have to choose where you are on that spectrum of activism, I suppose. Now I'm going to ask you a very
I,
personal question. Okay, so I have to take
okay.
off my glasses for it. Let's talk.
Uh-uh.
It's serious, because it's a question that I asked
Okay.
myself before I thought about asking you, and I
Hmm.
wanted to ask you that: are you proud of yourself, like where you are in the good process of your art and of your sexuality and self, like where you are in 2020 with 2020 vision? Is this a you that your younger self will be proud of?
I'm still a work in progress. I think it's safe to start with that. I'm still a work in progress, but there's been there's been a lot of crazy shit. Sorry, if it's okay for me to
I've been
curse.
swearing all day, so like continue.
so so there's been a lot of crazy shit I've had to deal with growing up. I think I've always like mentioned that at different points in this interview.
The
So
dark
I
ages.
think it took, yes, the dark ages. So it has taken so much, you know, for me to finally get to a point where I could say, you know what,
How do you?
you need rest.
Okay,
You've
your first
you've
question.
got you've gone through enough, and you've got yeah. Okay, was it breaking up?
Yeah, but continue.
Okay, so there's been a lot, and I think it took me just getting to that point of, you know what, appreciate what you've done so far. And it took a friend of mine to like just remind me of
Seems
that.
like you have great friends, really.
I mean, let's just say I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the friends I have, the friends that I got to meet, because I think before I got to meet a lot of people, I have basically just been like, me, myself, and I have basically just been like in a cage. I was going through a lot of things internally that I really didn't care much for what's going on outside, and I felt awkward outside. So it was like, the long ones, you have to just stay back indoors. But people that just like help me through every step of the way, and that also like helped me to while dealing with a lot of things. And I can say that I've come to a point where I could say, yes, a lot has changed, and I'm grateful for those changes. It's a huge leap. It's a huge leap from like, I don't know, 10, 18 years or so ago. 20, yeah, it's a huge leap.
I think
And
we're always ever growing, ever changing.
yeah, but in spite of all of that, I'm still, staying open to a lot more that can happen. So much can happen in a week, 2 weeks. So we just, walking in the lights and seeing how things unfold.
And I
But
think
what
that's
has
really
been
beautiful.
on so far? What has been on so far? I'm grateful. It's the best I can say.
I mean, we are here despite like everything life has thrown at us.
Despite a lot.
From the way you've described your friends, I think they're amazing, and I think like community is one of the most important things as queer people that we need to have. And I wanted to ask that apart from your friends that give you strength, what else strengthens you to like live your truth? Because honestly, existing as a queer person in Nigeria or anywhere in the world, it's hard. So what gives you that? But what feeds your flame to keep going?
Mm. So this might come across as odd to some people, especially when I just mention anything spiritual, and that is, I think spirituality helps. No, I think, yeah, it helps. And it comes to that point where I'm confident enough in myself to also be open enough to spirituality and all that kind of helped me. And it always just manifested in a lot of ways, in a lot of ways, through people, through music, um, what else? Basically, like through a lot of things. But just being open to the divine was just one of those things that just helped me.
I like what you
I
said.
mean,
Into the
yeah,
fine. It's
because before
one.
now, I don't know, just like run away from a lot of things and just, you know what, no. Especially because there has been a lot of disconnect growing up, when it comes to like being queer, and being spiritual and
People automatically assume that queer people are not have no relation to God or religion or anything.
or yes, you get, and there was just a lot of that. So it's part of what I meant when I said, like I could not really fit in anywhere, at the time. But it took me understanding myself better to really, really it just helped me know, okay, this is what I want, or this is how I'm going to go about it, or, even if things are going crazy now, things will get fine eventually. But understanding myself first just kind of made other things easier, including spirituality.
I think for me personally, I believe that like there is a trinity between love and God and art, and love is God and God is the beautiful creation of art, and so our love is just one big circle. And I believe that expressing our creativity just really
That
feeds
sounds
into
deep.
that. Isn't. I just really believe in like the regeneration of love, and when you look at all the components of love, which is the same thing we pour into our art, into our music, into our writings, and those same things that we take back to the holies of holies. And I just feel like people need to look beyond religion and find God for themselves, find some connect to the universe, to whatever it is, because I don't know, I just believe that there are greater forces at hand. And speaking of greater forces, I
Yeah.
want to ask you, what do you think your superpower
Yeah.
is?
So I think my superpower is part of what explains my coin. My superpower is the ability to differently, see things differently, and also be able to shape things into ways that I could easily understand and comprehend. But primary one, being able to see things differently, I think it just helps. I mean, there are a lot of things that being queer just opens you up to. And for me, for as long as I can remember, I've always just like seen things, things or beauty in places where most people just saw, you know, no, X. I'm surrounded with people that see things in black and white, but I just happen to see things in color, and it just, that's my superpower. I see things in color.
It's an amazing one. So last question for the day, because we're already at the end. It seems like time just flew
Aw.
real quick.
I mean, we're really enjoying this gist though.
I was enjoying it. Like I was having a great time because you're such a guy. And
Aw.
so I'm gonna tell you the reason I told you before, but the reason why I am heading this program with Lucid Lemons is because at Lucid Lemons we're thinking about like everything that's been happening this year and how the world is and everything. And
I
we
know.
realize that as tough as it is on everybody else, it is especially tougher on queer Black Africans,
I
especially
agree.
because while you see that Black Americans and Black people across the world are being assaulted and killed, that's affecting you on a Black level. When you think about like the politics in Africa and everything that's happening, them killing Africans, police brutality in here. I mean, Nigeria, we have SARS, we have the police people, we have rape, we have everything. It's
Let's not
affecting
even talk about it. Let's
Africa.
not even talk about any excuse to send you to jail for 14 years.
You see, and that's another thing. On the
You
queer level,
know,
they're still trying to do that. There's people tossing tires around necks and trying to burn people, and it just drains you, and it makes you wonder that as a queer African, like, can I really do this? Can I
I'm
keep
not going to
going?
lie.
And we're like, we need to do something to re-inspire hope in all queer people, especially queer Africans. And we wanted them to know that like being queer is it's not a curse, it's not a burden, it is we are here, we are beautiful, we are standing. And Lucy Lemons really wants to do this. And we wanted to ask you if you would say a few words to speak to this, to all the queer people listening to this.
We are all going through dark times.
Mm,
First off,
mm,
it's and it can be very overwhelming. But the best thing you can do for yourself, I think there are two words I could just say before I say anything else. Be you. Be the best version of you can be. Be open to improvement. Be patient with yourself. It's a lot. I mean, for me, it's been a huge leap from several years back, like I already mentioned before, to where I am in this moment. And there has been a lot of madness in my life, and it's very easy to get lost in all that craziness and just drown in it. But the one thing you need to is you need to take time with yourself, know yourself better, be yourself, be honest with yourself first. I think with that, it helps you be more honest with people. It helps you know how to deal with people as time goes by, people you meet,
just generally makes
wherever.
it easier on you.
Yeah, it generally just makes things easier for you.
Mm. I can see your people, all your fans are calling you. And thank you so much for doing this with me. I am so honored and I am so grateful that you took your time in the middle of the night. Well, not the middle of the
Oh
night, but
my God, I
late,
am so
late in the night
glad.
to do this with me. And I am so happy we did this. People, folks, please check out Raldie's music. He's on SoundCloud, Apple Music, Spotify, Audio Mac, and probably some illegal streaming sites. Okay, his name is Raldie Young, and his EP is songs from the bedroom, my bedroom,
Songs
songs
from
from
my
my
bedroom.
okay. It's not from the bed to the bedroom, it's songs from my bedroom. Okay. Go
Songs
check
from my
that, go
bedroom.
listen and check out our
And
playlist.
new music coming out soon, though.
New music coming
So
out, check that out. Follow Lucid Lemons, follow Rowdy,
more
follow
music
me.
coming out. So watch out.
All right. Thank you so much, Rowdy. Bye bye.
Thanks very much, Ian. Bye.